Congratulations for new members.
And J2 Mioli has returned. Looking to end it. No, nobody home.
There seems to be some trash that I forgot to pick up.
You think you can just come back and you run the place? You think you can just go around challenging people to matches? No. You can't just demand a match against me. No. You see, you're gonna have to go through all of us. You're gonna have to survive the Heartless Kings.
PS2! Boom! Oh, lariat! Connect! That is it! Good night, Boa Silva. He caught him in midair. Playmaker lariat! I'm inside out. And that is it.
Jeremiah Fresh, get your ass out here right now. Next week, it'll be J2 Mioli versus the leader of the Heartless Kings, Jeremiah Fresh.
That's a hell.
Royce versus Maximillian. I accept your offer. Good evening, Millennium Wrestling. How are you feeling? My name is Jordan Cassie. So thrilled to be your host for the most and commentator this evening. We are here in the Millennium Wrestling Academy, week in and week out, every Friday, forever, people. Tonight, folks, it's a graveyard smash. It caught on with a flash. So welcome to MPW Monster Match. We got a quality card on tap for all of you tonight. In our main event, a clash of the Titans, Goliath versus Goliath. It will be the Mile High Samurai, Royce. Head-to-head with 1 in a million, Maximillian. And folks, I don't want to wait around any longer. What do you say we get things kicked off with championship action? Referee set Claire. Your opening contest is scheduled for one fall. And it is for the MPW Tag Team Championships.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MPW's Monster Mash. I'm Dane Devine, having the pleasure of doing this opening match on commentary. I'm going to be joined in just a moment alongside ring announcer, the one and only Jordan Castle. And we're kicking things off tonight with the MPW Tag Team Championships. The former Tag Team Champions, the former Pump Line, Antonio Rivers, Boa Silva, the Heartless Kings, making their way to the ring for this huge tag team match. MPW, the place to be for tag team wrestling, the place to be on Friday nights. And what an opening match we have got in store for you tonight. The Heartless Kings, definitely not popular in the eyes of the MPW faithful, getting in the face of Jordan Castle. St. Clair, senior official St. Clair, backing him off. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our champions. Shocking the Millennium Pro Wrestling world last week at You'll Float 2. The Unguided are back in Millennium Pro Wrestling. Definitely not my favorite two guys. Been up and down the roads, one of the best tag teams in all of wrestling. Matt Vandergrift, Damian Drake, your MPW Tag Team Champions. Matt Vandergrift coming back from a humongous injury to his right pectoral muscle, but he is back and better than ever. And now, two-time MPW Champions, the Unguided.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but soon the sting will pass.
Introducing first, in the corner to my left, the challengers. From San Diego, California, weighing in at a combined weight of 350 crowns, the team of Boa, the Constrictor Silva, the Solution, Antonio Rivers, the Heartless King. Their opponents in the corner to my right. From Sin City, weighing in at a combined weight of 415 pounds, they are your reigning, defending MPW Tag Team Champions, Matt Vandergrift, Damian Drake, the Unguided.
What an opening contest we have in store. MPW's Monster Mash. And being joined again, our illustrious ring announcer, the one and only Jordan Castle. Jordan, what a match is the opener.
What a match. Only here at MPW championship action like this getting us kicked off. Danny, I gotta say, I don't know what's weirder. You and I being broadcast partners or you and I being friends. But besides the point, Boa Silva, Matt Vandergrift, one half of the new MPW Tag Team Champions getting us kicked off here.
I couldn't agree with you more, Jordan. It is a little odd to be sitting here next to you, but I do love me some tag team wrestling, and this is the best tag team wrestling you're going to see right here at MPW. Strong lockup to start things off. And Matt Vandergrift, Boa Silva.
MPW faithful hates them, some Heartless Kings. They are intent on bringing Rivers and Silva back to the light, having them see the light, having them return to the pump line that they fell in love with those many years ago.
Absolutely. We know at the anniversary show, we saw the pump line. Incredible tag team victory over their comrades, the Heartless Kings, but the Unguided, as you're seeing here. Different ball game here, Jordan.
There's the Rebel Storm and Jeremiah Fresh turning them back towards the darkness. We see Fresh in action later on tonight against J2 Mioli, but how about that shocking return last week from Vandergrift and Damian Drake, bouncing back from Vandergrift's injury to recapture those championships that they never lost, Danny.
Absolutely shocking the MPW arena when they returned. And man, Matt Vandergrift looking like he has not missed a step. One of the best wrestlers I have ever been in the ring with, I have ever seen.
In the shape of his career, someone who, even though he's added size in recent years, has not lost any of that aerial chemist athleticism that endeared him to West Coast fans for the better part of half a decade. Nice headlock takeover.
But no slouch in the technical department. Boa Silva of the Heartless Kings. We know jiu-jitsu background. Very athletic as you're seeing here. But Matt Vandergrift
Headlock takeover of his own here. I'll tell you what, Danny, I hate to give the devil their due, but what Boa Silva lacks in size compared to Vandegrift, he makes up for in speed, he makes up for in technical proficiency, but nothing much matters with a shoulder block like that.
Absolutely, and obviously the experience advantage goes to the champions, the Unguided, been tag team champions all over the world. Matt Vandegrift traveling to South Korea just a couple of months ago to wrestle.
Also a former strong survivor with New Japan Pro Wrestling here, putting those chops on good display as he nearly takes off the head of Boa Silva and makes the tag to Damian Drake with a gorgeous senton. Cover! No, you saw Drake there mocking, taunting Rivers with that pump line arm motion.
And we talked about the agility of Boa Silva, but how about the agility of the Unguided Matt Vandegrift using the ropes to spring out of that hip toss, and now a chop that I think they heard downstairs.
I think they heard downstairs. I think Drake hurt his own hand in the process here. And this is a signifier of great tag team wrestling, Danny. You know it better than I. Keep one man in, keep the other out, keeping each other as fresh as possible with these frequent tags.
You said it, Jordan. It's about being quick and being smart, always knowing what your partner is thinking. And the Unguided, they do that better than anybody.
Also taking full advantage of the allotted grace period for both Vandegrift and Drake to be in the ring and really having their way with Boa Silva. Rivers needs to make a tag for the Heartless Kings, and he needs to make one quick here, Danny.
You know, I will say the aggression of the Unguided is also something we need to talk about. They are just smothering young Boa Silva, but Boa, the athleticism, flipping out of that and throwing some haymakers tag made.
Rivers now legal, looking to take the fight to the Unguided, but looking's all he's gonna do. Drops the elbow and Vandegrift into a cover, but only a 2. You get the sense this crowd, the MPW faithful here in Chatsworth, they want to like the pump liner, the Heartless Kings as they're called now. They want to root for Rivers and Silva. It's just, these kids make it so damn difficult.
You know, the company you keep is a reflection of you, and the Heartless Kings joining up with Jeremiah and Rebel Storm. It's no shocker the MPW faithful.
There's a shocker, Danny.
Holy cow, want them back to be in the pump line, but man, I think Antonio Rivers just wants to get out of this corner.
Looking for a chop of his own, having very little effect, and I think it had very little to do with the t-shirt or lack thereof for Matt Vandegrift. You know, we said Rivers needed to make the tag to change the tune here for the Heartless Kings, but it hasn't had much effect. Thus far, the Unguided having just as much success with him as they were with Silva.
Absolutely, but you got to remember, Matt Vandegrift, this is only his second match back after that injury, so I thought maybe there'd be a little ring rust, but I don't think so. But look at the tag team cohesion of the Heartless Kings.
Backbreaker, springboard knee combination. The legal Silva once again hooks the leg, but only a 2. And just like that, Danny, I think the tide might have turned.
And the Heartless Kings, former MPW Tag Team Champions, they were the team that won the titles after the Unguided had to vacate them. So this is a really important match for our tag team division.
It's got to stick in the crow of Vandegrift and Damian Drake, knowing that these kids held titles that they never defeated them for.
And they never defeated this team.
Rivers and Silva now back in control, taking time to taunt before dropping the elbows. Cover from Rivers. And a kick up from Vandegrift. Dare I say, Danny, that is the Achilles heel of the Heartless Kings. As a cheap shot from Damian Drake there distracts referee St. Clair and leaves the opening for this double team. They're so proficient. They are such a great tag team fundamentally, but it's this ego, it's this holier-than-thou attitude that makes it so difficult to truly root for these two.
It's very tough for me. I know the pump line very well. I've wrestled them all over this great state of California, but not this version. This version is not a tag team that I would respect.
Doesn't much matter about respect from the locker room or the fans. It matters about wins, and Vandegrift wants to do everything in his power to make sure they don't get one from the second, but cut off, and that is a nasty landing, Danny.
What a combination, and absolutely fluid movement, crushing Matt Vandegrift.
Cover, and in comes Drake to break it up, but Danny, that tells me the champions are getting desperate here.
Couldn't agree more. He's nervous if he's going to resort to breaking the rules. And here comes Damian Drake now. St. Clair having to admonish him.
Of course, champions advantage for the Unguided, but they don't want to retain those titles on a disqualification, on a technicality. They want to decisively beat the Heartless Kings, especially, alluding to what you were saying earlier, the Heartless Kings holding those titles without ever defeating the Unguided.
Absolutely, could not agree more. This is a tag team supremacy match, and double stomp by Antonio Rivers. This kid is, I'll give him the devil his due, as you said earlier. He's good.
And I think, Danny, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Rivers not trying to beat Matt Vandergriff with a cover like that, simply trying to make Vandergriff expend as much energy as possible. Especially Vandergriff recently returning from injury. His gas tank nowhere near what it, and there's no way it can be.
Absolutely correct. But we're seeing maybe a little bit of a second wind from Matt Vandergriff, using him as stairs. Tag made. Here comes Damian Drake.
Damian Drake taking the heads off of Rivers and Silva like a man reborn. Hensagiri.
Incredible offense by the fallen prince, Damian Drake.
An extra chip on the shoulder of Damian Drake, right? He wasn't injured. He didn't have to miss in-ring competition. Certainly doesn't hold it against Matt Vandergriff, but even more to prove after missing months of MPW action.
Absolutely.
Well, friendly fire there to the Heartless Kings, and Damian Drake on fire himself.
Snap power slam by Damian Drake. Antonio Rivers hitting him from behind, and now the Heartless Kings got the numbers advantage once again. Going for a double clothesline, but the ropes.
Spring stunner. Two birds, or shall I say two kings, or two pumps with one stone.
Incredible perpetual motion by one half of the tag team champions, Damian Drake, looking for that dragon suplex. Boa Silva had it scouted.
And here comes Vandergriff, had that scouted with an enziguri of his own, and now a Hurricane Rana taking Silva. Oh, this is where the unguided gets so dangerous, Danny. Tope con Hilo, wiping out Rivers.
Incredible, popping him up into the Uranagi. That's gotta be it.
Danny, as a team, as one half of a team, I should say, that has faced the pump line, the Heartless Kings, call them what you will, up and down California. What do the unguided have to do to put these kids away here?
They need to hit signature maneuvers. We need to get them, but okay, Antonio Rivers, Boa Silva hitting his ankles on the beams here in the low ceiling at the MPW arena.
Perhaps looking for a signature maneuver of their own.
You know, I think that the home field advantage of the Heartless Kings saved them there.
You're right, they're here week in and week out, regular fixtures here. The unguided have been missing for months.
Looking to go mile high, and Matt Vandergriff had it scouted. Beautiful pump kick. Turns around, Boa maybe looking for the double stop. Matt Vandergriff, superplex, rolls
and
through.
He's not done.
Going for it. Maybe a buckle bump. Oh my God! Boa Silva turned it into a destroyer.
Vandergriff got a little too confident. He tried to keep the train rolling a little too long, and that may have cost them the tag team titles, but a spear says otherwise.
What are we witnessing, Jordan? Tag team excellence only here. Friday nights, Chatsworth, Millennium Pro Wrestling.
And Danny, this is just our opening contest. 5 more fantastic matches still yet to come, including that huge main event, including you yourself in tag team competition, but we got championship gold to decide.
Absolutely, 2 of the best damn tag teams on this planet, and they're going at it. Tag made, here comes Damian Drake, Boa Silva, looking to get advantage, going back to the well here, but Boa Silva had it scouted, rear naked choke.
They don't call him the constrictor for nothing. Drake went to the well of that handspring one too many times, and it may have cost him. It may have cost the champs those titles. Codebreaker. Crossroads.
Incredible cover.
No! Danny, you know as well as I, that is a combination of moves that have won the Heartless Kings matches. It is a combination of moves that has won the Heartless Kings championships.
It's a combination of moves, Jordan, that have pinned me sitting here next to you. And now Damian Drake fighting back with everything he's got. But again, the Heartless Kings with the numbers advantage. This group knows it better than anyone. Looking to shoot him off. Oh, but Matt Vandergriff made the tag. Don't know if they saw it. DDT.
Not sure if Rivers realizes it.
Forearm, Matt Vandergriff.
Vandergriff has taken great inspiration from AJ Styles. Boys, the Styles clash, and now pops Rivers up for a combination brainbuster. Leg hooked, but broken up by Silva at the last second. At this point, a war of attrition, Danny.
I don't know how any of these guys are able to hang in there. The conditioning is unbelievable. Boa Silva going for the double stomp, but Matt Vandergriff caught him, transitions to the shoulders, puts him on, but Boa able to avoid it off the back, code breaker!
If at first you don't succeed, try again. Vandergriff was looking for a DVD from tag partner to tag partner, but didn't get all of it. And now the Heartless Kings looking for that incredible combination once again.
They call it the Mile High, and it ends right here with the double stomp for Boa Silva. Got absolutely all of it.
We got new tag team champions. Oh! An all-timer here in our opening contest, Danny Devine.
Absolutely incredible tag team action here. Enziguri, Boa Silva stunning Damian Drake.
Yeah, Drake on spaghetti legs now, but manages to find the wherewithal to send Silva outside the ring and follow through with a tope suicida. Ugly landing right in front of us.
Just absolutely decimating our guardrails here at ringside now. Antonio Rivers maybe looking again for Cross Rivers, but Matt Vandergriff having it scouted.
Look at that, incredible athleticism. Knee to the mush. And now, that is the checkmate for the tag team champions.
What a match, what a contest, and still, tag team champions, the unguided Jordan Castle.
Here are your winners, and still MPW Tag Team Champions, the Unguided.
The recently returned MPW Tag Team Champions back and better than ever. Injury be damned. Drake and Vandergriff on the roll of a lifetime here in their second reign as Tag Team Champions. But fans, stick with us. More tag team action coming at you up next. As the newfound pairing of Hunter Gallagher and main man Mike Cunningham go head-to-head with Miggy Rose and Draven Silvera.
Most fools can price me silenced up with a full of PA. And I guess you know me, been in why so long. Gotta trust they family, especially brothers. Shout out to somebody.
A combined weight of 325 pounds. The team of Draven Silvera and the Short King, Miggy Rose.
Mojo so dope, my mojo so dope. Yeah, we live it, yeah, we own it. Give it about your lifestyle, give it about my lifestyle. We.
Boston, Massachusetts, weighing 170 pounds, he is professional wrestling's #1 sugar baby. This is Hunter Gallagher.
Cunningham is the champion of what?
The Nightmare Factory champion, of course, Cody Rhodes and QT Marshall's Wrestling Academy, based in Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome Logan X to the broadcast booth here.
I'm happy to be here. I just wanted to make sure I heard that right. I want to make sure that we heard that this man holds the title of one of the most exclusive wrestling schools in all of the world.
I mean, it's no Millennium Wrestling Academy, but you know.
You know what I mean?
Jokes aside, a treat to have Mike Cunningham here, joining forces with another regular fixture here in MPW in Hunter Gallagher. So much for both of these men to prove, Logan. Looking to establish themselves as regular fixtures, much like opponents Draven Silvera and Miggy Rose.
Now, Silvera and Miggy have tagged together before, but not extensively. Have their opponents ever tagged together at all?
This is a first time ever, perhaps a one-night-only tag team. Mike telling me earlier on tonight where there is opportunity. He is here to take it. Him and Hunter might not have the exact same lifestyles, might not run with the same crowd, but they have the same goal, and that is supremacy here in MPW, but some serious power here from Draven Silvera.
Yeah,
deceptively strong.
And I think that, contrasting styles always work best for tag teams. That's a beautiful drop kick right there.
Well, Mike Cunningham getting height and getting impact, but the short king looking for some of his own, and he's going to get
drop
it.
Kick.
A thoroughbred is the main man, Mike Cunningham, folding Draven Silvera inside out cover.
He ran him over like he wasn't even there.
Yeah, the word that comes to mind is stampede. He's like a bull. Of course, Mike Cunningham, Southern boy, born and raised, Hunter Gallagher, a native of Boston, Massachusetts. So unique stylings brought here to Chatsworth, California, and save a horse, ride a cowboy, my God.
Hunter's not a Southern boy?
He is not. Shocker, I know.
Well, that's some beautiful teamwork there by this makeshift team.
Only a two. You mentioned Miggy and Draven have not teamed together extensively. This is actually the result of a quite extensive rivalry between the two. Draven earning Miggy's respect and this contentious pairing beginning in recent months.
Well, and it just shows you that how high priority it is to get on a Millennium Pro Wrestling show that Gallagher and Cunningham would take a tag team opportunity together when they've never tagged together before against the dastardly duo of Miggy Rose and his protege, Draven Silvera.
Gallagher calls himself the #1 sugar baby in professional wrestling, has gone viral on more than one occasion, and Miggy Rose, he wants a piece of the pie.
Well, Miggy was trying a different flavor there, it looked like, and now he got his foot caught.
Yeah, Hunter's seen F-boys a time or two in his life. He knows what to expect. Educated feet, sending Miggy Rose for a ride, and Hunter with the MPW faithful in the palm of his hand here, Logan.
Wow, look at that agility.
Gorgeous back elbow, and now ducks the line. Hurricane Rana taking Miggy Rose off his feet. And there is what we call the twerk. Standing moonsault, hooks the leg, but only a two. Can you twerk like that, Logan?
Maybe in my younger days, but I'm in my 40s now. I might throw out a hammy if I did that.
Well, here comes the Ham Hawks, Big Mike Cunningham. The strategy would dictate that the athleticism of Hunter and the power of Mike Cunningham would be the playbook for these two, especially with relatively limited tag team experience, but Miggy Rose sends Hunter outside the ring.
Well, this is for sure an all-star makeshift tag team. But again, here you see some of the cohesiveness of their opponents. Whether they've teamed together a lot or not, they know each other very well.
And Draven Silvera, someone with a stop-start career here in MPW, hails from the Millennium Wrestling Academy, proudly flies high the flag of this organization, and is someone who is really just looking for his place here. Again, has always had the ability, a cheap shot, a cheap choke here to Mike Cunningham as Miggy Rose distracts referee Scarlett Donovan. It seems in many ways like Draven's kind of fallen in with the wrong crowd. Might not agree with everything that Miggy Rose likes to employ, but willing to put up with it, willing to look the other way to, as you said, Logan, get these opportunities on these shows.
Yeah, and, again, this guy's already making waves all over the place. He's the champion of the freaking Nightmare Academy, which is, quite an auspicious accomplishment. But now he's in the wrong corner.
Cunningham needs to make the tag to Hunter, but as Miggy provides a stepping stone for Silvera. He's nowhere near that point. Cover here from the Short King.
And they seem to be gelling better as a team than they did the last time that they tagged. It seemed like they were working on some of the kinks the last time, and they're more on the same page tonight.
Well, Logan, you know better than me. There is no replacement for in-ring, on-show experience. You can talk, you can text, you can travel. Hell, you can train here in Chatsworth all you want. Unless you're in here when the red light is on and the MPW faithful is in those seats, there's nothing like it.
For sure, and unfortunately, for all four of these athletes in this match, Silvera has the least amount of experience, but he does have the second most experience in this building. So I guess you got to kind of figure out, what adds up to more there.
Talking about deceptive power from Draven Silvera. The same here from Miggy Rose. Cunningham nearly double the size of the Short King, and Miggy having no problem tossing hands. Again looking for this stepping stone, but this time the main man saw it coming.
You ever heard of old man strength? Like, your father, he didn't work out, but he could kick your ass forever. That's kind of how Miggy is. Miggy has old man strength for no apparent reason.
I've heard of main man strength, and the main man makes the tag, but Hunter, caught in the ropes, manages to find a clothesline all the same.
And that is what we're talking about here, about experience in this building. Every ring is different. It's set up different. The spring in the ropes is different. He tried a springboard there. He didn't get it. Oh, he just did a double butt cheeks to the face right there.
A little rear view. Tribute to his business partner, Ariane Andrews, old tag team partner. Former WWE champion Naomi, and now Hunter scaling the top. Not letting that momentary slip deter him here. Thinking moonsault.
So smooth. Perfect form.
No, only a 2. If you're Hunter Gallagher in the ring with a former MPW champion in Miggy Rose, one of the top prospects here in MPW and Draven Silvera, what's the strategy, Logan?
The thing is this, his moves are outstanding. He wants to have a good showing here. He wants to get booked again. Draven, the unbreakable heart is what he was called before. He still is unbreakable now, but I would go to work on that left arm and shoulder that's been injured a whole bunch of times.
Has Hunter Gallagher on his shoulders, leaves the opening for the assist from Miggy and the GTS.
He might have knocked all his teeth out with that move.
And Mike breaking up the cover. That might have been the only recourse for him and Hunter here.
Yeah, his partner was there when he needed him to be.
Referee Scarlett Donovan starting to lose control here. I don't believe Mike legal in this contest, but you can understand Scarlett playing things a little fast and loose, knows what a big opportunity this is for both of these athletes. And there we see the springboard rear view spinebuster combination. Cover here, but only a 2.
That might have been the first time I've ever seen that particular combination of moves used in unison at once.
Gotta say, might be a one-time only tag team situation for these two, but they're working in stereo here.
I think they've been a hell of a team so far, and they're really showing their mettle. They're showing two really good singles wrestlers can mesh together as a pretty good tag team.
Draven on the outside, distracting Mike, the main man, Cunningham here.
Be interesting to see if they tag together for 6 months.
Sends Cunningham face first into that corner post. That was a nasty landing here, Logan.
Yeah, and now he's not there for his partner who's looking for the tag. Oh, Miggy's maybe confessing? He's confessing his love?
Again, Hunter has seen the F-boys come and go. Cover! Cover here now from Miggy.
Oh, look at the assist from his partner. There was Draven grabbed his hands. He tied him up, and they got a big win.
Here are your winners, the team of Draven Silvera and Miggy Rose.
Beautiful double team move there. Miggy rolled in the cradle. He bridged backwards. Draven hooked both of his arms, and that's what made it so he could get the pin over Hunter Gallagher.
Very impressive showing for Hunter and Mike in their debuts.
Well, I tell you what, Gallagher and Cunningham have nothing to be ashamed about in terms of their tag team work. As a one-off, I'd really like to see this team again. They just got caught.
Yeah, make no mistake, Logan, this was not about a lack of tag team synergy between Hunter and Mike. This was about Miggy Rose and Draven Silvera being more than willing to exploit any cheap shot, any low road possible, en route to victory. And now, if it weren't bad enough, they got something to say.
It looks like Draven and I
are becoming the newest, hottest, sexiest,
All right.
most fucking rocker emo tag team in all MPW.
I don't know exactly what that is.
And the real tag team needs a tag team name.
This is true. You can't be a real team without a name. Unless you're like, Greg Valentine, the Honky Tonk Man, or something like that.
Now, Draven, you and I are known as 2X.
2X?
And that's what I want to hear. 2X, we're going after what's rightfully ours. Those MPW Tag Team Championships.
Calling out the champs. Making a declaration.
Why don't the Unguided come out here right now?
Oh, literally calling out the champs, not figuratively. They want to have, looks like a conversation right now.
Are we going to do this right here, right now, Logan?
Too scared, huh?
Oh, there's Vandegrift and there is Drake, fresh out their first successful defense.
Two guys who aren't going to sit in the back and not come out here and answer a challenge. It's the Unguided.
You're screwed now.
Unguided, I don't want to hear from you guys. You're speaking to two MPW grown wrestlers.
He's not wrong about that. They both came to the academy.
That we've earned.
Are you gonna shut up and let us talk? You called us out here for a reason.
Oh, Vandegrift shutting that down right now.
I don't want him out here.
We want to challenge you. Shut up, crybaby. I don't care what you gotta say. You guys have been teaming for a mild minute.
Yeah, exactly.
What they said the name was two bitches in the ring, right?
Vandegrift saying they have a different tag team name than 2X. And apparently the crowd is on board with that.
Is that what X stands for, Logan? All right, I don't know.
So
I don't know. The way the kids talk today is beyond me.
Team championships. You know what, Damien? I think we should put them in their place. We accept.
We want it at King of Extreme.
You don't want that. You don't want that. You don't want that.
You don't know what the Unguided can do.
Oh my God.
You don't know what you can do. Crybaby.
Let me handle this, Wendy. It's okay.
Wendy is,
You want it next week? We'll give it to you. But you're gonna do it our way.
that could be any way. The Unguided way.
No rules, pure chaos. Unguided way. We are going to have a Purge match.
Purge match? What the hell is that, Jordan?
I have no earthly idea.
Well, the crowd seems to like it. Wendy's out there on board screaming her head off.
So be ready, boys, because we'll be here waiting. Now, we live by one way and one way only. Unguided for life!
Unguided for life. The
The
MPW.
Unguided laying out the challenge, and it seems as if 2X have accepted tag team titles on the line next week
They're getting the opportunity that they asked for.
in a Purge match.
Yeah, I'm still interested to see what that actually is.
Jeremiah Fresh versus J2 Mioli coming at you. Up next.
Oh, I got it. You have no idea what you just got yourselves into. Like I said, Draven, I called it. 2X versus the Unguided at King of Extreme for the MPW Championships. In a match where anything goes, in a match where anything at our disposal can be used. Draven, that street fight you and I had, the Unguided, you're gonna see it tenfold in this Purge match. Yes.
Well, Mickey, what's a Purge match?
I don't know, Draven. I've never seen the movie.
Introducing first, from El Cajon, California, weighing in at 233 pounds, he's the leader of the Heartless Kings, Jeremiah Fresh.
Fresh is jaw-jacking with the fans already. Think he needs to focus on what he's doing.
His opponent from San Diego, California, weighing 252 pounds. He is the playmaker, J2 Mioli.
You could have asked me why I broke your heart. You could have told me that you fell apart. But you walked me like I wasn't there, and just pretended like you didn't care. I don't know why I run away. I make you cry when I run away. Take me back, 'cause I wanna stay. Save your tears for another. Save your tears for another day. Save your tears for another day.
A grudge match on tap here, Logan. J2 Mioli has defeated Rebel Storm. He has defeated the former Pump Line. Tonight, all roads lead to the leader. Mioli looking to cut the head off the proverbial snake.
Well, and he's painstakingly gone through this journey to get back to Fresh, who is the leader of the Kings. Mioli used to hold that position. Since then, he's seen the error of his ways and has gone through cleaning the clocks of everybody that was in his way before.
Look, we see this from time to time. Athletes trying to avenge not just themselves, but MPW as a whole. Mioli being very candid, saying, listen, I know who I was. I know what I did. I don't want to be that guy anymore. And to prove that, I'm going to rid MPW of all of these guys. But clearly, Jeremiah Fresh with other ideas.
Well, and Fresh is using the psychological warfare that he needs to. Mioli's a little bit emotional, way more so than usual about this. Maybe this is his calming ritual right here. We put his hair up in the There is the top knot right there.
He is cool, he is calm, he is collected, and now not only playing mind games with Jeremiah Fresh, but making it that much more difficult for Fresh to grab that hair, because you know as well as I, Logan, there are no roads too low for the leader of the Heartless Kings.
No, and you know, I think that was also part of him playing back at Fresh for taking his time out there and, you know, trying to not engage.
You see J2 has employed some cupping techniques.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's got 3 large pepperonis on his back.
You have to wonder if Jeremiah Fresh will target that sensitive back.
Well, and I have jokingly called him J2 Raviolis many times because that's a reference to my Italian heritage and how he's walking around with 3 pepperonis on his back. Mattioli's also Italian, by the way, so in case it wasn't clear. A child out there was holding up a sign that said "Heartless Farts" on it.
Clearly not favorites of the MPW faithful or the Heartless Kings.
I want to make it clear to the audience, I have never unleashed a heartless fart in my life. Every fart I've unleashed is full of heart.
Well, thank you, Logan X. Right now, it is J2 Mattioli using that power to back Jeremiah Fresh into the corner. And a cheap shot here from Fresh.
And that was going to be, you know, this match was going to break down into a brawl at some point.
This is clearly personal between these two. It's not about #1 contendership. It's not about championship gold. It's not about bragging rights. It is about ridding the other from MPW. Simply put, Logan, this town ain't big enough for the both of them.
Well, and this match has the big fight atmosphere to it. Like you said, it's not a title match or...
Hold on. Mattioli looking for that playmaker lariat, looking to put Fresh away. Yeah. And again, Fresh rolling to the outside.
That was almost over with there. But he got caught out there.
J2 Mattioli looking to make Fresh pay for what he did, not just to the playmaker, but to all of Millennium Pro Wrestling. And now Fresh with a cheap shot. Textbook Heartless Kings.
Boot to the face.
Well, Heartless Farts and now King of Doo-Doos.
King of Doo-Doos? You know, Homer Simpson once had a quote, and this needs to go out there. It was, and Scooby-Doo can doo-doo.
You know, Jeremiah Fresh not necessarily used to being in the ring with someone who outsizes him here. May have the height on J2 Mattioli covered, but does not have the size, at least 20 pounds for Mattioli with the advantage.
And the crowd can, you know, chant whatever they want. The bottom line is Fresh is in control of this match right now. He's being very methodical about how he takes J2 apart. And you're right, he's just giving up size, but he seems to have J2 well scouted so far.
Jeremiah Fresh wasting precious seconds, jaw-jacking with the audience. Didn't matter. Met Mattioli in the corner with a devastating blow to the midsection.
He's also being efficient with his energy. If you look at him, he's not sweating profusely or something like that. And he's hitting some pretty basic wrestling moves. He's just being consistent in his attack.
And it speaks to Fresh rolling to the outside in the early going, right? What some might call cowardice, others yourself might point towards him being strategic. Him not expending unnecessary energy, running away from Mattioli, evading Mattioli on the mat.
And you have to consider the fact, oh, that's a big elbow. You have to consider the fact that Fresh has been able to scout Mattioli in a way that we may not have the full story on.
Case in point, the ponytail removed and the hair used to the full advantage of Jeremiah Fresh.
Exactly. And Fresh, we don't know what instructions he was giving his guys. We don't know what instructions he was giving the other Kings in terms of what strategies to attempt to use on J2 to see what worked and what didn't. And what he probably did was take all that footage, study it, and say, okay, I'm going to take 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. This didn't work, but I'm going to try this. And like you said, he's just been one step ahead of J2 so far.
Well, it's an excellent question, Logan, as Fresh nearly gets himself disqualified here. How much has Fresh grown in the interim? Learned so much from J2 Mattioli as a mentor in the early years of his career. Turned on J2 Mattioli, broke away from J2 Mattioli, and what has he added to his arsenal since then as he cinches in the Boston crowd?
Absolutely, and he made him run a gauntlet of all of their former partners as well.
Looking to make J2 Mattioli
Look how
pay.
Smart that was.
Not just defeat the man, but embarrass him. Make him tap out here.
And he had him a little bit too close to the ropes there. Fresh is smart enough to pull him away.
Mattioli crawling towards that bottom rope, looking for the break, and he gets it.
That's that 20-pound weight advantage that you were talking about a minute ago.
And you see Fresh keeping that hold cinched in for all 4.5 seconds allotted by referee St. Clair.
I really like the way Fresh is approaching this match. He's being very auspicious and very diabolical. He's getting in J2's head.
Or perhaps firing him up. Off the ropes, Mioli with a big knee strike.
And this is what J2 can do. He can turn a match around immediately.
Flurry of southpaws here. Takes Fresh off his feet. And again. Back elbow. And J2 Mioli has found his second win. PS2. Cover. But it only gets him the 2 count.
It's a big comeback so far. Firing up the crowd now. And I think he needs to do that. I think J2, that's a big part of his adrenaline there.
Logan, I think Mioli calling for that playmaker lariat. And as a former running mate, a former tag partner, a former brother of J2 Mioli, Jeremiah Fresh shot coming. Haluva kick in the corner.
It's a beautiful arm drag type counter move right there, and then just a big boot afterwards.
And now this isn't something we see often as Jeremiah Fresh scales the ropes, taking a big risk. Speaks to how badly he wants to win this match, Logan.
Yeah, sometimes you got to take those risks, but it didn't pay off this time, and now he's in a horrible position.
Mioli looking for the razor's edge again. Jeremiah Fresh with an answer. Uranagi, cover. Hit a kick out from Mioli. Logan, I'm putting you in the hot seat here.
Yep.
Who do you see taking this one? Who do you see picking up victory
honestly, so far, I really like what I've seen from Fresh in that he's had J2 scouted on pretty much everything he did. He's had all that footage to watch. He put him through all these tough matches. Well, I don't want to say he's been taking it easy because he's been wrestling too, but it hasn't been this consistent barrage. So I think Fresh has a distinctive advantage, and I think he's going to pull it off tonight.
Trading shots in the center of the ring. Fresh hitting J2 so hard that the breathe right and his nose came off, and J2 Mioli saying, all right, you've done it now.
Do those things actually work?
You have to ask J2 Mioli.
Yeah, my schnoz has been popped a few times. Wow, he just raked his eyes.
Yeah, I know that works for Jeremiah Fresh. It's flagrantly illegal, but it worked to great effect.
And that doesn't matter how big you are. Good old-fashioned thumb to the eye.
We're going to pop him up for that sky high, but Mioli saw it coming. Huge elbow, and now the playmaker lariat.
He nailed it.
Cover.
Oh, look at this.
And the Heartless Kings with the intervention.
This was never going to go to conclusion. This was always going to be how this turned out. The Heartless Kings in there doing their thing right now.
Referee St. Clair has awarded this match to J2 Mioli via disqualification.
J2 wins the battle, but looks like he's going to lose the war.
You idiot, J2. Stay on. You idiot. Don't you know wherever I go, the Heartless Kings follow behind?
We should have known better to think this was going to be a straight-up athletic contest.
You're not in control anymore. Wait.
It was never about winning the match tonight, Logan, not for Fresh.
Well, and you know what? Again, J2 might have won the battle, but he's going to lose the war here is what it looks like.
Next week, you get one more chance at the Heartless King. It'll be me versus you next week, King of Extreme, in a lumberjack match.
Lumberjack match.
Better yet, we'll call this King's Court.
So who are the lumberjacks?
Me and you in the ring. Get him. Get him.
J2 valiantly fighting back here. He just doesn't have the ability to fight off these numbers.
The Heartless King's ringside. And in case you forget, let me get your reminder.
He just measured him with that boot to the face.
Well, we'll have to wait for the official confirmation, but Jeremiah Fresh issuing the challenge, a King's Court lumberjack match next week with, one has to assume, the Rebel Storm, Antonio Rivers, and Boa Silva as our lumberjacks. I liken them to jesters, Logan.
J2's going to have to find some friends, otherwise he's going to have a hell of a time next week.
Well, that is next week. We have the Purge match, tag team championships on the line, and of course, the King of Extreme match itself. And up next, one more piece of tag team competition. It's time to find out who will enter as number 1 and 2 in the King of Extreme. Daniel Moon and Diego Valens versus Ray Rosas and Danny Devine, the losers, with the disadvantage heading into King of Extreme.
On the appreciation for Jordan's.
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall. And the losing team will enter number 1 and 2 in King of Extreme. His opponent from Chatsworth, California, weighing 198 pounds. He is the handsome devil, Diego Valens.
Now the history between Ray Rosas and Danny Devine could fit a book in and of itself, Logan X. But tonight, they hope to coexist. Good friends, better rivals, hoping to find the best spot for themselves next week in the most dangerous match MPW has to offer.
This match is a treat for me for so many reasons. All 4 of these athletes are MPW originals. 3 out of the 4 of them train at the Millennium Wrestling Academy. Of course, that's Danny Devine, Diego Valens, and Daniel Moon. Ray Rosas came in from another organization as a trainer, helped train all 3 of these men. Danny now one of the trainers at the Millennium Wrestling Academy. All 4 of these guys, MPW World Champions, all 4 of these guys have done everything there is to do here. They all know each other well, and this is going to be a hell of a match.
Diego Valens with that signature athleticism, that signature speed put to good use, taking Danny Devine for a ride.
How the hell does he do that?
And Danny Devine, not one to find out, boot to the face, and a Hurricane Rana. Let me ask you, Logan, when you're in the ring with someone that you know so well and who likewise knows you so well, as is the case with all 4 of these men, what's the strategy? How do you adjust? Cover.
Well, in this particular case, Diego's going right at Danny real quick with reckless abandon, and that might be the strategy. Danny maybe thought it was going to be kind of a shorter spot. These guys got some unfinished business from a few weeks ago.
Yeah, Daniel Moon returning to active competition against Danny Devine, caught in the crosshairs of this issue between Brendan and Danny, the brothers Devine, of course, serving as special guest referee at the Anniversary Spectacular. Unfinished business, don't even begin to cover it, Logan, but Danny looking to finish the match here. Only a 2.
And they didn't get to figure out who was the better man that night because Brendan came in and curb stomped everybody. Moon's actually coming off a concussion from that second curb stomp. He missed some action, and he might be back in there too soon, especially with Ray Rosas. I guess he wasn't.
Well, you might have spoke too soon, my friend. Moon gets the knees up and lands the big splash on Ray Rosas here. No signs of ring rust from Daniel Moon, arguably in the shape of his career.
That was the point I was going to make is, I mean, look at that. He hung on and hit the drop kick. Now he's going to hit a springboard. Beautiful flying forearm.
Cover. No, only a 2.
You said it. Moon is in the best shape of his life. And the thing is, how does that translate in the ring? He was able to hang with Danny for about 20 minutes before there was interference. Looks like that's translating now, too.
Diego legal once again. A little friendly fire between him and Daniel Moon. Now Rosas with a flurry of arm drags. And a tilt-a-whirl looking for the backbreaker, but Diego Valens with other ideas. Shot off the ropes. And there's the backbreaker. No tilt-a-whirl necessary.
Now, I know Ray and Danny have teamed before. I don't think Moon and Diego have ever teamed before.
And clearly that lack of tag team experience paying dividends or lack thereof. I always say, Logan, it doesn't matter how good you are as an individual wrestler on any given night. When you're in a tag team match, it matters so much more how you gel with your partner.
And we saw that earlier. We saw that earlier with Miggy and Draven.
Cover again off the second backbreaker. Bit of a lackadaisical cover there, did not hook the leg.
Yeah, Miggy and Draven getting a win over 2 all-star wrestlers that are individually super competent, but couldn't beat them as a tag team.
Now, Devine and Rosas with a clear strategy. Grind down Diego Valens. Cover.
And that's what we were saying earlier. You said, what strategy will you use? Diego came out like a house of fury. Their opponents look like they want to ground him right now to make sure he can't do that.
Danny and Ray playing the long game here. Chestnut checkers for the veterans. Of course, we know the winner of King of Extreme next week, right here in Chatsworth, right here free on YouTube, becomes #1 contender for that MPW Championship, a title that, you know, Valens and Danny alike both looking to recapture.
Huge ramifications there, and again, all 4 of these athletes, former MPW World Champions.
And talk about what it would mean to enter 1 and 2, to have that kind of disadvantage for a match as brutal as the King of Extreme.
Well, and yeah, it just makes makes what's on your plate far less to deal with. And you know, let's play this scenario out. Let's say Daniel Moon and Diego win this match. Moon enters late in the contest and he wins King of Extreme. All of a sudden, he goes from not having been in the ring for 7 years to being the #1 contender for the championship that quickly.
Daniel Moon versus Busio. It's something I sure as hell wouldn't mind seeing.
That's a dream match. That's a main event anywhere in the country.
Of course, Busio teaming with MPW National Champion Eddie Rohr against their respective #1 contenders, Brendan Devine and Chuck Mercer. And a little friendly fire there between Rosas and Danny Devine. In comes Moon, again taking the fight to old friend, that current rival Danny Devine, picking up right where they left off at Moon's Landing.
Turned him right inside out. Now he's got him up in a fireman's carry.
Lift off there from Daniel Moon, and now
beautiful moonsault.
Kemmer. And a kick out. Should it just be called assault with Daniel?
Yeah, I mean,
it feels redundant, right?
That's right.
Or maybe more appropriate than ever.
All my moonsaults were crooked, so we just call them Logan salts.
Danny Devine here with a gorgeous follow through, got Moon up and drops him down with a Falcon Arrow.
Beautiful Falcon's Arrow right there. And he elects to go make the tag instead of a cover. That's probably a smarter move. Realizing he wasn't going to get the pin, it was a higher priority for him to get the hell out of the ring.
And Rosas, the fresher man, now taking the fight to Daniel Moon.
Veteran move. And look at, and that's paid dividends right now because Ray's in firm control.
Looking for that F5. Moon escapes the clutches and a step of Enziguri.
You know, I think I'm cursing Ray here. Every time I give him a compliment, something bad happens to him afterwards.
Commentators curses. Daniel Moon looks to tune up the proverbial band. Rosas catches the boot shot coming in right here into that Rings of Saturn. Center of the ring, nowhere for Moon to go. There is not a rope in sight even if he thought to grab one.
And these two guys right here, this is just an incredible matchup between the two of them. There's so many possibilities of what could happen.
Trying to crawl towards that bottom rope, but every inch feels like a mile. Every inch is agony, and Rosas dragging him towards the center, but Moon somehow finds his way back up to a vertical base. In comes Danny.
And here's that team experience right there, and Moon got dropped on his grill.
Assisted flatliner cover. And a kick out from Moon.
And Moon's just, the shape he's in has got to be incredible. He had to do so much cardio.
I got to ask you, Logan, do you think there's a road back for these two? Daniel Moon. Oh, hold on. Diego with the distraction. Moon with the roll-up.
That might have been it right there.
Do you think there's a road back for these two? You know better than I. The best of friends here at MPW and beyond.
Well, and that competitive spirit is always going to take over. High flying move in the corner there.
Cannonball there from Daniel, making the tag to Diego.
With MPW, I think the best thing is never say never.
Tornado DDT from Diego into the cover. Danny Devine and Ray Rosas, number 1 and 2. But only a 2, says referee Scarlett Donovan.
I do think they needed to figure out who the winner of that contest was going to be, and Brandon made sure that didn't happen. We got fans out here fanning themselves because the action's so hot and furious it's burning their head. We got 2 different air conditioners on in this building right now.
Valens now, a little groggy, but makes his way back up to his feet. Danny not far behind, and these two trading shots in the center.
Beautiful right hands.
A slugfest here with number 1 and 2 in King of Extreme on the line, and a blind tag from Rosas. There you see some of that ego that's always separated these two.
It might have saved him, though, from...
Super kick to Valens, but taken off his feet from Moon, and now Daniel with another fireman's carry, but not sure if he realizes. Looking for that lift off, but Rosas is legal.
Beautiful double teamwork there.
Spine buster. And there you see Rosas and Devine alone in the ring. They don't have to be best friends. They just have to work together well enough to get through this match, to win this match and give themselves the advantage heading into King of Extreme next week.
They gotta pay attention to Diego.
Springboard wipes them both out.
They were over there congratulating each other. They lost track of their opponent.
Spent a little too much time enjoying their handiwork, and now the handsome devil looking to make them pay the price.
Ray actually backdropping Danny out of the ring. Oh, what the hell?
Cutter! Vintage Danny Devine, and now Devine perching Diego Valens in the center. Rosas speared his own damn partner.
That front flip gives him extra momentum, but it made it so he couldn't see his
Devil's
partner.
kiss!
That's gotta be it.
Sealed with a devil's kiss.
That's a hell of a win for Valens and Moon.
Here are your winners, Diego Valens and Daniel Moon.
The very scenario that I was talking about earlier, step 1 and that's happened. Moon's entering King of Extreme late along with Diego. There's a good possibility we see Daniel Moon win the whole thing and then end up the #1 contender for the championship.
They say pride comes before the fall, Logan X, and never has that been truer than here tonight. Diego Valens takes it around town, but he's gonna need more than hip swivels if he hopes to outlast the competition.
Look at Moon. Look at Moon eyeing him up right there.
We're not tag team partners anymore. We won the match. We got the advantage. And just like that, it's all about next week. It's all about becoming the king of extreme.
Yeah, and there's some friction right here, as there should be, because it's all about winning that match and getting a shot at the MPW title.
Speaking of #1 contenders, up next, #1 contenders for the MPW Championship, the MPW National Championship, respectively, team up against their champions, but Danny Devine and Ray Rosas have seen better days here, Logan.
Well,
Keep ending up in this position.
Danny's asking the question that we're all thinking.
Where were you? You gave me the spear.
It was good, huh?
It was a good spear.
So good I could help your old ass.
Oh, the ass! That's not gray in Ray's beard, that's chrome. That means he's got wisdom. Oh, it's breaking down, Jordan. Ray is trying to talk everybody down here. Danny's upset about getting speared and about losing the match. They're 1-2 at King of Extreme.
Rosas trying to keep his temper and instead caught with a pedigree.
He turned around and Daddy had him scouted, boot him in the stomach, and then gave him the pedigree. And the crowd is giving him accolades for that.
Will this be the sight next week? The only thing we know for sure, Danny and Ray, your #1 and 2 respectively. King of Extreme, coming at you right here in Chatsworth in 1 week's time.
It's official. Daniel Moon's going to the King of Extreme, and for one reason and one reason only. Brendan is in a ladder match for the world title, and Brendan thinks he's above me. I'm not at his level. Well, if I win the King of Extreme, I become #1 contender for the MPW Championship.
You know what? One match, I thought, sure, fine, that's great. You're back. The King of Extreme is a different animal. A different animal that I don't think that you're ready for. And I've been telling you for the last 3 weeks, you don't want to fight Brendan.
Why? Why do you keep protecting him? Why are you protecting Brendan?
I'm not protecting Brendan. I'm protecting you from him. But it doesn't matter, Moon. Because next week we don't get to be best friends. Because now you're in my way. I've done it all in MPW, but I've never been the King of Extreme. And I'll go through anyone to get the crown.
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall. Introducing first, from Purge, California, weighing 220 pounds, he is the ace of MPW, Brendan Devine. 250 pounds. He is the part-time brawler, Chuck Mercer.
Lucky Charms, indeed. Brendan is definitely Irish. And I'm 30% Irish.
She walked away from a cheap pack of cigarettes, hard liquor mixed with a bit of intellect. And all the boys, they were saying they were into it. Such a pretty face on a pretty face is driving me crazy. But I'm into it, I'm kinda into it. It's getting lazy. I think I'm losing it, I think I'm losing it. Oh, I think she said, the opponent's first right now. Yes, come on, winning at 69 yards. Here's your MPW National Champion, Miami Frog, the Big Game Hunter, Eddie Royce. Nose is always backed up. He goes home to a cactus. His tag partner from Paradise, weighing in at 150 grams of happiness. He's your rated MPW champion, the perennial son of
A tag team dripping in gold are Eddie Roar and Busio, but my question to you, Logan X, is this. Have they met their match? Are their days numbered with their number one contenders, Brendan Devine and Chuck Mercer, staring across from them in the ring here tonight?
This is one of those matches where I don't think Brendan and Chuck need to win this match. I think their goal should be, if I'm cutting strategy, they need to inflict as much pain, damage, and punishment on the singles champions as they can in this match.
Both physically and psychologically. It's an excellent point you bring up. Championship gold, number one contendership, it's not up for grabs here tonight. Brendan Devine and Chuck Mercer are looking to wear Eddie Roar and Busio down, looking to soften them up en route to their inevitable championship matches.
Right, they get an opportunity to wear down their opponents before the ramifications of the championships are even in play. That's why it's not about getting a win for the challengers here.
And here comes the part-time brawler. I gotta tell you, Logan, I never quite understood it. It's Eddie Roar with a Lufes press.
And some good left hands there, right there. I like that. I'm left-handed, you know.
You're gonna need left hands. He made hands of all sorts against the bar-time brawler, but I've never quite understood it until I was standing in the same ring as this man making the introductions. There is something very scary in the eyes of Chuck Mercer. It's almost hard to articulate. It's like the lights are on, but nobody's home with this guy.
Yeah, no, the cheese slid off his cracker a long time ago.
Now, Eddie Rohr, we're going to make sure the MPW Championship, the MPW National Championship, that is, does not slide off his waist, but Chuck Mercer with other ideas. I mean, since returning to Millennium Pro Wrestling, this man has been damn near unstoppable. Samoan drop from Eddie Rohr might be the man to stop him.
Well, and Eddie Rohr is a strong candidate for Wrestler of the Year here, in my opinion. We've had people be tag team champions before, national champions before. I don't know if we've ever had him at the same time. And the thing was, he was defending both belts.
Certainly comeback of the year. We didn't know if we'd ever see Eddie Rohr again. Now he's come back, former tag champion, current national champion in the last few months alone. Cover here. But how about Busio? Biggest win of his career and the biggest match in MPW history. That main event glory we saw just a month ago here at the Anniversary Spectacular.
Well, and you know, they say that champions, when you become the world champion, you get 10% better automatically just by having the confidence of having that belt around your waist. I think that's what we're seeing with Busio.
They also say when you become the champion, the work begins. And Busio, he's up for the task. He's always been undersized. He's always looked a little funny. He's always marched to the beat of his own drum. And Brendan Devine, the #1 contender for his MPW Championship, looking for the cheap shot, but I don't think it was about the cheap shot, Logan. I think it was about a distraction, and that distraction, all Chuck Mercer needed to take advantage of.
Well, and now he's got a chance to inflict some punishment, exactly as we were talking about earlier. To chop to Busio's chest.
Talking about a change in attitudes. Brendan Devine popping Busio up, but getting caught with a drop kick. A completely different man than the one we saw before his absence from MPW.
Well,
turning his back on the faith. I mean, he feels like he owns this place.
And there was a sign that the kid was holding up in the audience that said, "The line to punch Brendan starts here." I did have to punch Brendan a few weeks ago. That was the first time I'd been in the ring in years. And I actually had the revelation afterwards that if Brendan would have come after me, I would have probably been a little bit worse for the wear afterwards.
And Busio not looking worse for the wear here. The speed and athleticism of the MPW champion, the prodigal son, with an answer for the ace.
That's what he's going to have to do to beat Brendan next week. He's going to have to use his speed and his quickness and unorthodox moves.
Busio dials it up.
See
and a
how
gorgeous
high he got.
crossbody.
He was in the rafters.
Nearly clipped the ceiling here at the MPW arena. Makes the tag to Eddie Rohr. Again, no championship gold on the line, but think about the momentum these two would lose en route to these title defenses. Looking to get freaky is Eddie Rohr. We're going to put this one away, but Brendan saw it coming.
I know the crowd loves it when he calls out his move, but he's also letting his opponent know what's coming next.
Well, we know what's coming next here. We're going to tell Brendan Devine that he simply cannot freak him. And from behind, Chuck Mercer, not even legal in this matchup, a cheap shot, a sneak attack to the man he faces for that national championship, opening the door for the senton from Brendan into the cover, but only a 2.
You know, I don't think that, look, I was going to say, I don't know if Brendan's actually interested in wasting energy on beating up Eddie. He hands him off to Chuck. If you notice, the guys are kind of sticking to who they're going to wrestle next week.
Chuck Mercer is not someone that I would say plays well with others, but the ramifications of this matchup against the man he'll face for that national championship, even he's willing to make an exception. Senton of his own, lateral press.
Yeah, he's stolen Eddie Rohr's property before. He stole that vest. Eddie got it back.
We could very easily see the very face of MPW change.
Well, yeah, I mean, as quickly as it's like we can see both titles change hands next week, one or none. Saying, Chuck, you suck.
And Eddie Rohr, we're going to make that chant good on its word, but instead shot against the ropes and popped up. Nasty right hand there from the bar-time brawler.
He
Cover.
Threw him up in the air and hit him on the way down.
Nothing that this man does is pretty. All of it is effective. Chuck Mercer, he's not here to impress the faithful here. It's about getting the job done. Excuse me, Logan.
A little insult to injury there by that move, huh?
Again, Brendan Devine, it's so difficult to remember. It's so difficult to think about now. But for so long, a hero to these faithful, a hero to the people of Chatsworth.
Eddie Rohr has a big heart, the big heart of the Sapo. He got turned inside out like a Sapo right there.
That big heart may have just been extracted.
Look more like a Tortuga right there.
Now, oftentimes you see wrestlers return to the ring after time away. They're not in the same kind of shape they were. Be that in terms of how they look, the cut, in terms of how they wrestle, the cardio. That could not be further from the case for Brendan Devine.
No, Brendan's got this mean streak about him that, I mean, look, I don't want to say like I like it because it really is offensive to a lot of people, but it's going to be effective.
Talking about mean streak.
He is not predictable right now, and I think that's a very dangerous position for anybody that goes up against him.
Chuck Mercer has made a career out of having a mean streak. He popped out of his mother's womb with a mean streak. Cover.
Yep, drinking a bottle of whiskey.
Was telling me earlier on tonight that he's going to make Eddie Rohr a bloody frog when he has his way with the national champion.
A bloody frog? Well, did you dissect a frog when you were in high school? Were they still doing that then?
I think Chuck Mercer wants to dissect a frog next week.
Yeah. I had to do that. It was gross.
I did not. And Eddie Rohr wants to make sure Chuck Mercer doesn't either.
Might have led to me dropping out in the 10th grade. I'm not sure.
Wipes out Brendan. And some southpaws of his own from Eddie Rohr.
Oh, they both bopped each other.
Both men on spaghetti legs here, feeling woozy. But which will go down first? Which man will give first? The answer is Chuck Mercer.
Yeah, it looks like you got the better of him with that kick there. Oh, he went for the tag. Did you see what Brendan did? Look how smart that was.
I did. Eddie Rohr had the tag for Busio, and now in the ring illegally.
Using that 5 count to get in and out there.
You might say St. Clair disqualified this guy. He got him! The freaky frog got him, but unfortunately, Brendan Devine is not legal.
Not the legal man, and he rolled all the way out to the outside. Beautiful move there by Eddie Rohr.
Springboard cutter. And Rohr looking to repeat the magic here against the #1 contender for his national championship. Referee St. Clair administering the count. You know, Logan, you might ask, why didn't St. Clair, as Busio now the legal man, why did he disqualify Brendan for the intervention? Brendan put his hands on this man. Brendan thinks he owns this place, having his way with the official. But I'll tell you who owns this place. It's MPW, it's the Chatsworth faithful, and they liken themselves Busio. We've heard the cries for months now. We are Busio.
Did you see that move? What the hell is that?
Springboard kick to Brendan. A Hurricane Rana to Mercer. Now.
That's why this guy's the champ.
Spike pile driver into the cover from the champion. Broken up by the #1 contender for his title in the ace. The so-called ace, Brendan Devine.
I'm not usually left speechless. That sequence there by Busio left me just with my mouth hanging open here.
Busio is unreal, man. Cazadora, but caught. Brendan looking to leave him on red instead. Gets fried.
Yeah, I think he's doing a little bit better than 10% better after winning the title.
And here comes Eddie Rohr. Busio calling the shots here, Logan. Using the national champion as a stepping stone and wiping out his #1 contender.
That's a pescado and a pajaro all at once right there.
But in the ring, Chuck Mercer with that knockout shot.
And all that.
And that's it.
He had the knuckles on his hand. And that's what I was saying. He just busted Eddie Rohr's jaw right there with those knuckles. Very smart. Very smart.
Here are your winners by disqualification, Eddie Rohr and Busio.
Chuck Mercer doing what he had to do there. He busted Eddie Rohr's mouth with the brass knuckles. Eddie's going to that match next week with a distinct disadvantage.
Well, Busio fries Chuck Mercer.
He's saving his partner from whatever was left of him there.
But from behind, Busio's own championship cracked across his skull.
And Brendan taking advantage too. Both the challengers did exactly what I thought they would. They both used weapons on the champions, and they're putting them both at a distinct disadvantage for the singles matches where the gold's on the line next Brendan Brendan Diva might be Brendan, new MPW World Heavyweight Champion as of next week. Some foreshadowing, perhaps.
Yeah, is this a premonition of things to come? Brendan Devine looking to once again become MPW champion. But I'll tell you what, when it comes to Busio, when it comes to the Freaky Frog, Eddie Roar, a singles contest with the gold on the line. Oh no! Curb stomp on the championship!
That's what he just put Daniel Moon out with a concussion a few weeks ago with.
We gotta get someone out here, man. Busio does not look good.
I'll see you next week, Busio.
And that's a declaration of his plan.
And Brendan Devine, he thinks he owns this place. He's mouthing off to you. He's pushing officials. He might have taken our damn champion out of action. Someone's got to get this guy under control.
Well, let's see if Busio can do it next week. Both champions are left out here laying, and the challengers, I mean, it's not to say that I predicted it, but it's what I would have done. It's a smart thing. They lost the match, but they put themselves in a position to become the world and national champions next week.
Think about this, Logan. Brendan, as insufferable, as entitled, as deranged as he is now, think about how much worse that'll get if he captures the if he captures the MPW championship.
He'll grip to that like it's you're gonna have to pry it from his cold dead hands.
Likewise, I do not want to live in a world where Chuck Mercer is our national champion, but we still have one more piece of business yet to come. Our huge main event, and I mean huge, all too literally, Maximillian versus Royce Isaacs.
I can't wait for that match. I've been looking forward to that all week.
Next.
Mercer! You already had your shot, and that wasn't good enough. You had to go and cost me the tag team championships? Well, next week, I don't care about pinning you. I don't even care about beating you. I'm gonna throw your ass out the front door where you belong. You wanna get dirty? Well, next week, we're gonna get freaky.
And as we see here, Maximillian make his entrance and his return to MPW. Here is, what a giant slam. Here we go, taking for one and driving him down after.
Come on, Maximillian.
He is one in a million, Maximillian.
Where are the competitors? There is nobody left because I have beaten them. MPW doesn't have worthy challengers for me anymore. Competition? You want the competition? He's too good for that. MPW. Royce Isaacs look like some competition. So how about this? October 10th, you get what you want and finally find out what you are made of. Royce Isaacs versus Maximillian.
the other shadow of death. I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone. But I ain't never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. Me be treated like a punk, you know that's unheard of. You better watch how you're talking and where you're walking, or you and your homies might be lying to chalk. I really hate the trip, but I gotta know. As they cook, I see myself in the pistol smoke. Fool, I'm the kind of dude that little homies wanna be like, on my knees in the night, saying prayers in the street light. Been spending most of the night living in the Western paradise. Been spending most of the night living in the Western paradise. Been spending most of the night living in the Western paradise. Look at the situation they got me facing. I can't live a normal life. I was raised by the streets.
I cannot wait for this match.
Introducing first, in the corner to my left, from Montenegro, standing 6'4", weighing 245 pounds, he is 1 in a million, Maximillian. His opponent in the corner to my right, from Los Angeles, California, by way of Denver, Colorado, weighing in at 246 pounds, he is the Mile High Samurai, Royce Isaacs.
When you talk about big fight atmosphere, that's exactly what this match is. This is for bragging rights between two of arguably the strongest men in MPW. What's really interesting to me is that Royce Isaacs has all that tape around his waist already.
Referee Scarlett Donovan sounds for the bell, and we are underway with our main event. I'm so glad you pointed that out, Logan. I was talking to Royce earlier on in the back. He said he suffered an injury on the road wrestling that weekend, a stinger of sorts to the abdominal region. But you have to think if you're Maximillian, that's an easy target.
Well, and unfortunately, to protect it, you got to put the tape on it, but that's a clear indication that says, hit me here. And Max, you know, he's a smart guy. He's not going to not take advantage of it. And unfortunately, you know, that's going to affect the cardio, that's going to affect the balance, that's going to affect all these moves that Royce does.
It is the lethal combination that is Maximillian, especially since returning to MPW, turning his back on Diego Valens. It's not just the size, it's not just the body, it's the brains, it's the technical skill, it's the intangible, the it factor. But simply put, before or after this change in attitude, this change in presentation, Maximillian has never wrestled anyone like the Mile High Samurai Royce Isaacs.
And because Royce Isaacs, I mean, he's a protege of Josh Barnett, the former UFC heavyweight champion. So, you know, when you get in there with Royce, I don't want to say you know what you're going to get. You know what you're going to get. It's just really hard to prepare for because there's not a lot of guys that are anywhere near as strong, as vicious, or as technical as he is.
That's right. We've seen War Master here in MPW as a special guest referee. And I don't like to doubt 1 in a million Maximillian. That is not sound strategy in my playbook. That is not something I would do. That only serves to do one thing, Logan, and that is piss off the Mile High Samurai.
Well, and the thing is, I mean, you know, he's kind of on the up and up right now. It's a matter of time before he starts taking cheap shots.
You can see Royce Isaacs with the 1 pound weight advantage. These two so evenly matched, but able to back Maximillian into a corner, excuse me.
And Royce is a consummate sportsman. He doesn't cheat. He doesn't do any of that crap. He's just a very specific athlete.
2 bulls locking horns here.
It's the irresistible force meeting the immovable object.
You're right, nobody moved. Something moved, and that's the damn ring.
Oh, I think 3 people fell off the rocks downstairs that were climbing.
Irresistible Force versus Irresistible Force. A true clash of the titans here in our main event.
You see what Royce does? He just locks his body up and shoots his shoulder off.
I asked Royce's strategy heading into this match. He said, and I quote, simply put, big dog got a big dog.
Yeah. Well, and Royce has a lot more experience than Max does. A lot more international experiences. Right now, this is just going tit for tat right here.
With a member of the New Japan roster, former New Japan Strong Openweight Tag Team Champion, but Maximillian, an international superstar in his own right, taken off his feet. That is pure raw power.
And I mean, if you look at how Royce Isaacs is built, his body, look at how wide his back is. You could drive over that. If you lay down in the street, you could pull your car over his back, it would roll right over it.
Even more impressive that he's able to move the way he is. The size doesn't stop him.
Well, and you know, in the back here, there's a gym that's here. Royce teaches at the Millennium Wrestling Academy Thursday nights, and he's also back there squatting about 500 pounds.
Maximillian back in the ring. I want to point towards on the outside. Maximillian, a look of shock on his face, and a look of shock on the face of everyone here in the MPW arena. This is unreal.
He's got his feet up in the vent up there in the air conditioner.
Delayed vertical suplex here from Royce Isaacs. The blood rushing to the head of 1 in a million Maximillian.
These guys are so tall, Max's feet are literally bumping into the air conditioning vent that's up there.
Nearly half a minute in the air, deposited down with force. Royce might have the match won already, but only a 2.
All that blood rushing to your head, too. It's a very unpleasant feeling.
You start to lose consciousness. You certainly start to lose focus if you're Maximillian. Again, take nothing away from any member of the MPW roster, any student of the Millennium Wrestling Academy. Someone like Tyler Baird, give him his just desserts. He is no Royce Isaacs.
Well, no, exactly. I mean, that's the bottom line is Max wanted this match. He wanted competition. He said he had beaten all these guys on the roster. He just happened to pick a week where Royce was in the building, and the challenge was answered. And, you know, Max, I give him credit. He didn't have to take this match. He didn't have to step up, but he did. Telling the crowd to be quiet here.
The question being, has Maximillian bit off more than he can chew here tonight? In the ring with the Mile High Samurai, an internationally renowned superstar. He hopes to prove not.
The crowd not liking the reversal there.
Neither did Royce Isaacs.
Series of chops.
Machine gun chops here from Royce Isaacs, and frankly, I think I'd prefer a machine gun to the chest.
It was kind of like
those
a
chops.
Bruce Lee 1-inch punch there.
Some samurai stuff from Mr. Mile High.
I mean, and you know what? Here's the thing. If you're Max and you lose this match, it's for sure a blow to your confidence. He's a very arrogant type guy, but I don't think there's any shame in it. On the flip side, if he wins this match, that's a huge shot in the arm.
Right now, a huge shot to the gut from Royce Isaacs.
And so far, this rib injury hasn't come into play here.
Looks like Royce Isaacs maybe giving Maximillian one to match.
Look at this gut wrench suplex right here. Look at this position. That's 240 pounds. He just threw like a sack of potatoes.
Like a damn child into a cover. And a kick out from Maximillian.
I think Royce can do that to anybody on the roster.
Do you think there's any part of Maximillian that maybe underestimated Royce Isaacs? Said, I'm undefeated since returning. I've been on this incredible roll since this change in attitude. This will be a walk in the park for me.
It very well could be. And, you know, like I said, confidence is not a bad thing. Stepping up in competition is not a bad thing. It's just there are levels to this game, and is Royce levels above where Max is? Or is Max, you know, has Max climbed the ladder to that point? And we're going to have that question answered as soon as there's a victor here in this match. That's the exciting thing about being here at MPW this week.
Royce slowing down the pace, keeping Maximillian grounded. Again, these two very evenly sized, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't come into play at all if Maximillian is grounded to the canvas here, Logan.
100%. And Royce is methodical. He is a machine. Once he starts taking you apart, he does not stop.
Look at this. He's got Maximillian on his damn shoulders.
With a rib injury.
And a rake in the eyes from 1 in a million Maximillian. You said it.
Unsportsmanlike.
And Royce is a sportsman. He's not going to go that low. That is the one decided advantage that I think everything Maximillian has. These two so evenly matched, but I'd say that gives one in a million Maximillian the edge here.
Royce nailing the buckle and Max following up. That's all doing damage to those injured abdomen and rib area. Again, he got nailed.
Big splash in the corner.
And very, very basic offense, but it's very target specific. It's exactly what he needs to nail. Look, he's going back and forth with the buckles, completely working that rib cage. Very smart.
Looking for the power slam, the body slam here, excuse me. If at first you don't succeed, try again.
Yeah, Royce was able to fire out power slam.
Into the cover. And a kick out from Royce Isaacs. But when you're as big as Royce Isaacs, especially with that injured abdomen, that injured rib cage, every time you got to kick that shoulder up, it expends so much force and energy of your own.
Absolutely, and we said from the beginning that Max was going to target that area. He would be dumb not to. I mean, let's just be practical about it. It's perhaps the biggest match of his career against the best opponent he's ever faced. You got to pull out all the stops here. And it's not Max's fault that Royce came in injured. That's not his responsibility. Royce wrestles 3-4 times a week, all over the world. He teaches here. He's always in the ring.
When we said earlier, Maximillian has never wrestled anyone quite like Royce Isaacs. I'd say Royce Isaacs has never wrestled anyone quite like Maximillian.
And that's a point that we might have overlooked here. Again, we're treating Max as if he's like this, stepping up in competition big time here to Royce. The thing is, Max might be all that in a bag of chips, because if he beats him, he just takes all that smoke that Royce had, all of that reputation, and said, I'm on top of this guy on the ladder.
Fighting out amongst the people. Conventional wisdom would give this to Royce Isaacs. We've seen the type of brawling and hardcore capabilities he has to offer, of course.
He's removing that bandage now. It's cumbersome in the way that it's just in the way now.
Yeah, but it also leaves that wound open. Any sort of protective layer that was given by the adhesive is gone, and Maximillian takes advantage.
100.
Shot to the gut, sending Royce face first into that corner post.
100% unprotected, like you said. And this is just two guys just thumping on each other right now.
There you see that one shot to that injured area, the welted flesh. All it took for the tide to turn. And it took for Maximillian to take advantage.
You can see it right there on the left side of Royce's body right there. You can see that injury.
Oh, he's going to have an injury in his back to match.
That's not going to help matters at all.
Planted back first on the apron, the hardest part of the ring canvas. It is where wood meets steel. There is no give. And you know what they say, Logan? The bigger you are, the harder you fall. All 246 pounds of Royce Isaacs just deposited onto it.
246
Cover.
With injured ribs.
No.
And I know we've got our #1 contenders next week for the titles, but if Max beats Royce, I think he can kind of call his shot on what belt he wants to wrestle for next.
A win over Royce Isaacs, an internationally renowned superstar like the Mile High Samurai, you gotta think goes a long way in the eyes of MPW matchmakers.
Deep bragging rights. Royce is a regular at Josh Barnett's Bloodsport.
And Barnett, someone who has beaten a myriad of WWE superstars, the likes of Charlie Dempsey and Ivar of the War Raiders. If Maximillian defeats him, you know what they say? To be the man, you gotta beat the man. And Maximillian may be en route to beating the man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, the ramifications of this match for Max are huge. Royce showing his power, even with that injury. Goes to the midsection. Goes up top.
Royce is as tactical as he is powerful. Maximillian is plain powerful.
And can you see, you're getting a good look at that injury there, Jordan?
Sure am. Royce Isaacs, you got to think feeling it here. The longer this match goes, the more it's targeted, the more sweat drips.
He flew right there, landed right on that injured side. And that's why he can't get up.
That's right. Taking Maximillian off his feet, not an easy feat, but the Mile High Samurai unable to capitalize. Arguably stirring slower than Maximillian here.
This is about the 6th or 7th MPW chant these fans have gone into this show. It shows how great this card's been. I know next week is considered the bigger show and the bigger card, but the action this week has been just top tier.
Main event for the ages here, a true Haas fight. You want your 5-star matches? You want your 30-minute classics? Not me, Logan X.
And the last 4 or 5 matches could have been main events.
Now this is all about big, meaty men slapping meat. And right now, it is Royce Isaacs slapping the chest and neck of Maximillian, smothering him in the corner here. Nobody home. And caught him flush.
Royce firing up. He's hanging on to his midsection right there.
Little misdirection there from the Mile High Samurai.
I think Royce has got to make something happen here, because if he keeps taking punishment, he's not going to be able to do this again.
Especially with that injured midsection.
Look at this. He's got him all tied up.
Fisherman suplex, but only a 2.
He had the leg hooked at the end and all that, and he still couldn't pin Max.
Maximillian's such a big guy, man. Again, usually a rudimentary, fundamental professional wrestling move. Maximillian is 6'4".
Well, if you notice, Royce had a harder time locking that move in than he usually does.
And he said if the fisherman suplex didn't work, I'm looking to make Maximillian pay. I think he owes me some hush money.
He's got him locked up at full Nelson.
Maximillian saw it coming, clearly done his homework, looking for the Max Factor. These men have each other scouted, students of the game here. And a DDT from 1 in a million, Maximillian. Cover. Only a 2.
It's a quick, high-impact move turnaround right there by Max. And Royce went from being firmly in control to down on the mat holding his head.
Will Royce Isaacs maintain his spot at the top of the food chain, an international export here in Millennium Pro Wrestling? Or will Maximillian win the biggest match of his career, catapulting said career to the top of the ranks here in Chatsworth? Only time will tell. For my money, Logan, it's anyone's game.
Yep, and again, like I said, the ramifications here are huge, because Max, if he wins, his confidence is just going to go right to the stratosphere.
Ramifications are huge. These shots are huge. Back and forth.
Everybody in the audience is feeling them.
And again, both of these men barely giving an inch. Shots that would knock you or I flat out cold. These men are barely moving an inch. Huracan. The eyes of Maximillian roll into the back of the head as Isaacs wind up. Back, pull, slam. Maximillian's gonna do it. No, only a 2.
Royce looked like he exploded out of that cover with everything. It almost looked like he was knocked out for a second, and he came to right at that point.
And again, usually Maximillian loves to employ that Max Factor.
Look at Max's face right now.
Gone is the smugness. Gone is the stoic smirk of the entrance. Maximillian, a man on a mission, and that mission may be drawn to a close. Full Nelson of his own, but Isaacs maintains a hold of that top rope, and flurry of clubbing shots to the back for Maximillian. Isaacs escapes. There's that Josh Barnett training coming into
ankle
play.
Pick right there.
DDT of his own. And the fighting spirit of the Mile High Samurai on full display.
You're going to have to kill Royce in order to beat him. He's either going to be completely out or you're going to catch him off guard.
Go over that fisherman suplex again. Got all of it this time.
He picked him up from the ground. He was on his knees when he picked him up for that move.
And he's not done. Lariat. Now goes for the cover. Will it be enough? No.
Well, look. The bottom line is this. Whether Max wins or loses, he's proven his mettle. He's proven that he can hang with Royce.
Yeah, but Logan, you know this new Maximillian, this 1 in a million Maximillian as well as I do. There are no moral victories for this guy. He wants a win in the record books, and he wants the payout at the pay window that comes with it against the likes of Royce Isaacs.
And I agree with you. If I could go 15 minutes with Royce Isaacs, I'd be pretty happy with myself.
Oh, PK attempted perhaps, but Maximillian saw it coming, a roll up here.
Of course, if I could beat him, I'd be even happier, so.
Oh, looking for that power bomb. Bomb electric, no more.
I don't know.
Royce with a fireman's carry. And a DVD in the corner.
He dumped him right on into the turnbuckles and right on his brain. Scarlett Donovan checking both men there.
MPW faithful. Rocking and rolling here for this main event. A hoss fight for the ages.
Who is going to win this match?
So evenly matched, these two bulls.
You almost hate to see a loser here.
Maximillian hates to see this. Planted by Royce Isaacs. And again.
This is Royce is centering himself right there. He does this before he gets...
There's the PK. This could be it. He's won a match with this before, but does not win tonight.
Max down licking his wounds right now.
They don't call him 1 in a million for nothing, Logan.
And listen to the crowd again, appreciating both men. You know, they have their favorites here, but they also just appreciate good wrestling.
You can see even Royce Isaacs, such a seasoned wrestler, knows better than to waste time, taking a second to check in with the official to make sure that was 2, and said, if that was 2, I'll make sure this is 3. Looking for hush money here. Got the full Nelson applied once again, but again, Maximillian.
He's grabbing Scarlett.
A low blow.
He kicked him right in the groin.
Scarlett didn't see it.
He beat him. He beat him with that move. It's like we said, the underhanded, dastardly cheating tactics.
Here is your winner, 1 in a million, Maximillian.
It is exactly what Jordan said. Max cheated, distracted the ref, used a low blow. He did all that, but he got the win. And it's what you predicted, Jordan, is the advantage that he had was that he will cheat. He will use unsportsmanlike conduct, and that's exactly what happened.
Logan, you and I can say whatever we want about it. These people can cheer and chant all they want. At the end of the day, the record books don't have an asterisk. The payout window doesn't have an asterisk.
You're absolutely right about that. Max has a win over a legitimate international superstar now.
I know we as commentators are prone to hyperbole. Oh, come on! From behind!
He's not done yet.
Royce Isaacs just now coming to off the low blow. And Maximillian locking in that Max factor.
Look at his eyeballs. It looks like he doesn't have both oars in the water right now.
He's out. Royce is out cold.
Royce came in here with an injury. He got his balls crushed, and then he just got choked out.
Prone to hyperbole though we may be, it is not so to say that we just witnessed the biggest win in the MPW career of Maximillian.
Yeah, the ego boost, like you said, his confidence through the stratosphere now.
And if this is what he's able to do to the likes of an international superstar like the Mile High Samurai Royce Isaacs, who the hell can stop this guy?
That's a great question.
For Logan X, I'm Jordan Castle. This has been MPW Monster Mash. We'll see you next week at King of Extreme. We thank you for joining us.
Can't wait to see you guys next week.